Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account and it is the start of the Season 11 beta of the Abyssal Expedition, guys. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to hop in here at the Abyssal Expedition. If you have not seen, this is a really in-depth part of AFK Arena. Again, this is 11 seasons that we've actually seen of this. So it's been kind of crazy. Right now, we are not in a competitive Abyssal Expedition game. And of course, with it being the beta version, there are not any leaderboards in this one. So even though you do get a ton of rewards, there are not any leaderboards. And looking at the maps that we've seen a little bit earlier, guys, you can see these are going to be the split. So we're going to work our way through this. And I believe it is going to this back point that you see right here. This is going to take us up to the second map. Now, again, if you're familiar with some of the previous Abyssal Expeditions, there were points where we went underground, where we fought a couple of the bosses underground. There were gates underground. I think it is going to be the same one, but this is, of course, going to have the Sky Serpent. So you're actually going to go up through the Abyssal Expedition. I have literally no idea what I'm doing. That's why I wanted to. Yeah, I definitely wanted to hop in here, guys. And really going through, I wanted to see who we're going to use. So up front, guys, Warrior, Tank, and Ranger are really the ones that are a lot of players do use. A lot of players have also went in there with support because of Liberta, but overall, I feel like the support might be lacking in some aspect, short of possibly getting out and killing some of the tower bosses really quick. Now, the Awakened version of Belinda, when you actually get the Star of Dawn, works incredibly well. So we have 17 over here, guys. We have 32 or 9 of 35 on this side. I'm going to start on the left. I'm going to start on the Scrass side. Let's go ahead and confirm, and I'll kind of break this down and see E60, Entendre, or Honesta, or Navy. Honestly, I would probably go with Honesta at this point. Still works incredibly well. I just have some staying up until now. All right, guys, so here is the beginning of the Abyssal Expedition. Now, the Star of Dawn, these are players, if they want to come in here, there's Baba Yaga and there's Rune. If they want to come in here, now, if you are a Star of Dawn that you see right here, unfortunately, you are not going to be able to play. So, Rune, I'm going to go ahead and pick you up as a spectator. That means that I am going to get more stamina quickly, which you can see right here, guys. And there is my spectator Rune. So thank you for joining me, Rune. But overall, spectator advantages you can see right there. So the spectators, recovery of militia members increased by 8.5%. Star of Dawn players who have spectators, which is me, recover stamina 10% faster. Star of Dawn levels up to Prince title to unlock 5+5 expeditionary forces and an extra beast. So it is good to have a spectator. Now in this Star of Dawn, guys, you can see right here, there are only the top 10 players are the ones that have the option to actually be in here as the Star of Dawn, or that can go in here. You can either be a Star of Dawn, or you can see I can actually drop myself out of here if I wanted to. But overall, guys, because we are a stronger player in AFK Arena, I'm going to stay in here. Again, this is the 11th time we've done this. So when you're first coming in here, you want to cultivate. Cultivate gives you a 20% bonus, as you can see right there, guys. So we'll drop in a hero and we'll cultivate. I love being in the Star of Dawn. It's really cool, Darkplane. It honestly is really cool to see in there. We'd love some tips in the game mode. Definitely, Bob, we'll be going over some. I'm stuck on 4056 with the Thorn Cheese. Just have to farm it, Mickey. That is really kind of crazy. So once we get in here, guys, your first objective, number one, you can see we're literally by ourselves, is to merge with other people. I cannot stress that enough, guys. That is the first point of the Abyssal Expedition, is actually merging, looking at the heroes. Now, we're going to do this a little bit different. Normally, what players would do is they would drop their heroes in here. From those heroes, they would go through and make a lot of progression. I am actually going to put a hero in here, and I'm going to start with the Awakened version of Brutus. This is the only hero that I'm going to start with right now, because essentially I should be able to go through and farm tier 1s, tier 2s, tier 3s just with a single Awakened version of Brutus. Also for the beast, guys, I'm going to put in, of course, 2 of our strong pets. I'm going to put in my seal right here, and I'm also going to put in my level 18 wing lion. Now, these ones we're not going to use right now. We are just building them out. Now, for a majority of players, the point when you come in here is getting tier 1s, getting tier 2s, seeing if you can get tier 3s, which, looking right here, guys, depending on the color. So right here, tier 2s are green, meaning this combat rating, it should be trivial of a difficulty. Looking at tier 3s, it is still showing up on trivial. Now, the reason for this, and that's the reason I definitely want to go through here, is the reason is the level. You will notice, guys, that my hero right here is level 319. So at level 240, if you're below 240, you'll get up to 240. But when you're at 240, you will go to 240 for every, I believe it is 10 levels above 240. So instance, all of my heroes are at 240. If I'm at level 250 in the Resonating Crystal, it will give me 241 based in the Abyssal Expedition, which of course is amplified considering I'm almost level 800. So again, it adds a lot over that 240 mark. Once I hit level 800, this will actually push this to 320. Again, mathematically based on the build. So my Brutus is probably way stronger than a lot of other Brutuses, just for the simple fact that I have a ton of levels on this account, which makes it incredibly easy to get through here. But like I was saying earlier, guys, you can see we're going through, they've all kind of mapped together. They've went together here. You can see they're moving over to the right here. And then of course, our top left right here is doing the exact same. In the bottom, you can see the exact same. So the good way to do this, or one of the general ways, is where I'm at, depending on where you start, guys. I am actually going to move right up. So I am going to shoot up this way and hopefully connect right in here, which is going to connect us. It looks like a little bit over here. It looks like they might have dropped some of the tier 1s, but you want to keep it connected at least for the first few hours. It is really the general rule, because what's going to happen is if I can get up here and I can connect to these guys right up here, or even if I can connect to this one over here, everybody else can kind of follow my trunk line going across this map. This is the way that you make a movement through the Abyssal Expedition. That makes it really, really easy to get through there. What's going on, Ryan? If you have questions, guys, drop them in the chat. Again, if this is your first or second time in the Abyssal Expedition, this is the time. And like I was saying earlier, I'm going to drop Brutus in here, and this is how we're going to run it. Brutus should have no problem. You can also do this with a couple other ones, guys. We've seen it with Baden. We've seen it with the Awakened version of Thane. Even if you have to use 2 heroes in this game mode, you can actually drop Ulna in here. So running Ulna with Thane, Ulna with Brutus, Ulna with another hero. Even if you're running like Ulna Rem, that will work incredibly well to take tier 3s right off the bat. Again, just based on the strength that the heroes can provide. Now, of course, at the very beginning, like we are right now, it is quiet time, which means that you're not going to be able to get any of the resources, but it'll show me right here on quiet time. If you click this little thing right here, we have 2 more hours till we start accumulating our blessed essence. So we want 20 of 20. As you can see right here, guys, we have 3 of 20 of our lands used. We want 20 of 20 settlements done by the time that this essence starts. So when the counter starts, I should have my 20 of 20 done. I'm using Mulan and Baden. Yep, that's a very strong combination. Will Lucretia be able to do it? Not really. The problem with Lucretia is not going to get any buffs. That is the problem, guys. Remember, Lucretia's damage amplification factor comes with heroes dying, Vitelli, which means you're not going to have heroes, and you do not, by any means, want heroes to die within here, because it is going to nerf the stamina that you're getting back. So again, looking at the hero, I don't know if I can beat this one solo. Usually I can. We can also pause it if we're going to have to reset, which we might have to. Brutus shields himself. So we got it through, guys, and that was a tier 3. So based on that, looking at a tier 3, we got defeat all enemies, gives us stamina back. Defeat enemies within 30 seconds, gives us stamina back. Do not lose any hero in battles, gives us stamina back. That is what allows us to actually move through here pretty quick. So again, the goal of going through here is stock up on tier 2s, tier 3s. Again, depending where you are, if it's a little bit earlier, it might be stocking up on tier 1s or tier 2s, because you'll also notice in this game mode right here, the Wilderness gives you 30 an hour and a chance at a common drop relic. Now, the common drop relics are on a timer. Actually, every relic in here is on a timer mathematically. So depending what you own, after a certain amount of time, you're going to get relics from it. But then when you look at your tier 1, it gives you 40 instead of 30. And it does give you a bonus if you put maulers in here. So again, the tier 1s, the tier 2s, you absolutely want to farm. And then looking even here at a tier 2, you get 60 an hour. Then when you get into the tier 3s, guys, you get 80 an hour, but you have an opportunity to get rare relics instead of just the regular common relics. And Lindsay Smith, thank you for being a Hippo supporter. Thank you to the big support in the fan club, guys. Absolutely love it. If we get Awakened Chimera, how do you think Lilith will do her ult? I hope the Awakened version of Chimera, guys, is just completely broken. Mickey, that is what I absolutely want to see. But we have our first new member of the stream, guys. Need a couple more subscribers. We're over 35,000. We're already north of 35,000, almost to 35,100. But even on the finance channel, we're at 1,300 already over on the finance channel, guys. It's absolutely been blowing up. But let's continue making our progression. Thank you for supporting the channel, Lindsay. Absolutely love it. What if you die? Can you pause and reset? You can, but if you pause it, it costs energy. That is something to remember. So if I pause, if I do try again, it will use energy, or excuse me, it'll use stamina when we're going through here. And you have to be careful of some of the heroes in here. So there are specifically some very, very difficult heroes in here, including Oden, very tough to deal with. The Awakened heroes, which I believe they have the Awakened heroes in here. But when you start looking at some of the stronger heroes that are very, very hard to deal with and hard, Flora in here is a nightmare. Zolrath is pretty difficult depending on the build. And of course, the Thorn Cheese. The Thorn Cheese is very, very hard to do in here as well. Some of these also is you can move and kind of get a different layout of the build. But see, even in here, and I'm thinking that we're probably not going to be able to get through this. Maybe if I can stack them up, which there we go, guys. Brutus gets it done in that one. And there we go, guys. Elliot, thank you for subbing to the channel. So in this instance, guys, you can see we did not kill the enemies fast enough. So we only got 2 stars. So we got 4 stamina back instead of 6 stamina back. So we didn't get the full return right there, but Brutus is still at 47. And we're making our way through here. Wait, if you're going to die, can you pause? Yes, you can. You can, Beacon. So the problem is Beacon of Hope, like what you said, if you die in the battle, you cannot use those heroes again. So if I fight the tier 3 right here and Brutus dies, I cannot use Brutus again if he actually dies. So what a lot of players will do is they will turn this off and just leave it on no speed. So if they're at the point where Brutus is going to die, right there, guys, he's probably going to die. I might let him die if he's going to die. There we go. So he died. There we go. So you can see we're defeat. We can stop attacking, continue attacking. If I continue attacking, I cannot use Brutus. He died in combat, Beacon. That is why I wanted to show you. He died in combat, meaning he cannot be used again. So I would have to have other heroes in here if I wanted to move right here to this tier 3, because I cannot use it again. I'm going to have to either put other heroes in here, or I'm going to have to move to another tile, because again, that tile specifically, he was already used. You can't have the heroes die. It doesn't work in this game mode. Again, if they die like they just did, can't use them again. So it is pretty sad. I'm thinking of running Mage. I've done Ranger most of the time and I need to change. Mage is tough. So the big thing, Darkblane, if you are running Mage, there's a few Abyssal Expeditions, which this is the beta version. You know what, guys? Run whatever you want to definitely test it out. But if you're running Mage, you don't have any support and you don't have very much defense. It's hard. If you have a really big built account, you shouldn't have any problem running Mage, which I believe you do, Darkblane. It shouldn't be a problem. But again, when you're looking here, even starting out and moving through, Mage is probably going to be pretty difficult to get through, especially early based on the teams. Thank you for being awesome. You've helped me in this game so much with your videos. Thank you, Lindsay. Awakened Chimera confirmed, not per Lilith Pluto. I'm waiting because, again, I know a lot of players have also been taking and talking about the Awakened version of Chimera, but also a lot have been talking about, and this is Thorin, guys. Thorin, you have to kill twice. So you're usually not going to get this 30-second counter right here based on having to kill Thorin twice. Now, here we go. So right here is another one. Again, seems like it's trivial, but we're going to have to see. Now, if you reset, it does cost 1 energy. What Ziad just said, it does take 1 if you do have to reset. But like I was saying earlier, guys, if you do lose the hero, so if Brutus dies, there's nothing you can do. You're kind of SOL because you're not going to have the ability to actually build them out a little bit further, which this one, again, they might have made this a little bit tougher since last time. Again, this is the first time literally running this one with this new season to see exactly which, I mean, Brutus looks like he's going to die again. It's going to be close here. We have shielding. Again, Respin is one that is very difficult to deal with. Look at the dodge right there. There's the stun. Respin is another one, guys. There we go. We got him down. We should win this one. I don't think she's going to get through the shield or the heal. But there's the stun. Are we going to lose? I think we got it. I think we got it. Could I use Grez Alna to go through? You could. The problem with Grez Vitate is Grez is very, very hard, and it takes a while to get damage. Grez is not a burst hero, so most of the time with Grez, you are not going to defeat the enemies within 30 seconds. And Grez does take a little bit of time to scale, which again does take a little bit more out of there. But that was another tier 3, guys, so we already got some tier 3s, which again, they're pretty tough even at this point to move through, is getting through. Because if you look, guys, 7 million to 16 million, so they definitely have a lot. I mean, this one is hard because of Verk, and you have to know who you're fighting, because Taylor right down here, again, I think Brutus might die on this one, but Taylor in the bottom is going to go immune. If you do not kill Taylor fast enough, she will go immune, and she will literally burn down your entire team very fast. Now, you'll notice here, guys, we have 9 stamina left. Brutus is out of stamina. This is a trick that if, again, you're going through here and you're making some progression, Brutus is out of stamina. I don't have anything to go and attack. Brutus does not have anything left. That is when we actually unslot Brutus. There we go. Slot Brutus into slot number 2. Continue moving through here. So we got 10 of our 20 in here already. Got quite a few relics in here. There's a tier 3. Need some ordinary blessed relics. Need some acquired blessed relics. Usually within the first day. And again, I've been in a competitive AoE since pretty much the beginning. I'm running with casuals, running with a couple other guilds. You can usually get about 4 titles within the first day, if not 5. You can make a ton of progression once this opens up on the first day. You can go through here and you can make a lot of progression. And again, a lot of these are movement tiles, so we're actually running to the other side. I've been saving for the 60-30-60 for Awakened Chimera. Yes, Aldron, that's my worry, is like you said, you're saving a lot of stuff for the Awakened version of Chimera. Absolutely. I know a lot of players have also kind of speculated that it could be Theowen instead of it being the Awakened version of Chimera, which again, if it's Theowen, I in turn, I will be very upset that it is not the Awakened version of Chimera. Just for the fact that the love and the nostalgia of AFK Arena, if we don't see that Awakened version of Chimera, it's going to be honestly, in my opinion, pretty crappy that they didn't make the Awakened version of Chimera. Yeah, I was thinking it would need support. That's the problem, Dark Blaine, is if you're looking to go support like what you were talking about, you're going to be splitting between the mages and with the support. You're going to have a hard time getting up the relics between both of them instead of going all in for one. That, again, that's the reason why I originally said the mage is very, very hard. What's going on, The Dream? And good evening, the Kala Bunker Man. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, exactly. That's my thought, Andre and Dark Lucifer. Yeah, I will be pretty sad. What time is it where I'm at? It is 10:18 p.m., guys. So it is a late night stream. We have a lot of stuff that's going on tomorrow with the Abyssal Expedition coming up today. I absolutely wanted to cover this. Again, if you have AE questions, definitely drop them in there, guys. I'll go through them and see if we can answer all of these. And I'm trying to pay a little bit of attention to the AE over here because I feel like we're going to be losing some of these bigger battles like that because we almost took everyone out. Now, again, in here, you could drop another hero in here because we're going to go through all of these slots. So if, for instance, I came in and I dropped in, let's say, Blika, I've never used, but a Awakened version of Thane. And again, this is the trial version. That's the reason why we're kind of trying things out. Is the Awakened version of Thane is really strong as well, guys, just because of his ability to burst down so many targets. So even here to pick up a tier 3, again, if this was competitive, I would play it a little bit different than I am right now. But again, we're just going through here to get Prince to really max this out. Mr. Ripple, is there a way to pause the game when you're doing AE, cut off the game and only use 1 stamina? Yes, you can pause it. Is there a way to pause it? Yes, Dale, absolutely. You can pause it if you're not going to win a battle. So you absolutely can. You can run, some players early game, especially like my wishlist account, I'm going to run 5 teams in here. I'm going to run 5 heroes in here when I'm going through and doing this game mode because I don't have the heroes to support it. Again, it really depends on where you are within AFK Arena. Yeah, what you do is pause the battle if you think you're going to lose, press X on the top corner, and close out the game. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to go through that much, Dale, just to save a stamina. Maybe, again, if we were competitive. So he says if you pause it, close out of the entire game, then log back in, then get back into the AE, you can actually save it. So thank you for the pro tip right there, Dale. But again, based on it being the beta version, there's a lot of things we want to try out. And we also do have a lot of players that usually come in with a beta build. So again, they'll run mages, they'll run support, they'll run different heroes in here just to see exactly how well it works in the AE environment. Because again, this is the beta version, guys. That is the point of it. So you do collect up a little bit of scrolls right there. Tier 4s, I feel like even though they're green, might be a little bit tough. Let's see what we got here. I might drop a pet in here. I might actually drop in, let's drop in the owl. Again, just to see if we can get through a tier 4. Tier 3s didn't seem too hard, which I think here, even with the pet guys, we're not going to have a problem getting through. The tier 3s, tier 4s, I don't know if Brutus could solo it, but I could put Alna in here. But again, I could put Thane in here. Either way, I get half of my stamina back, taking out and building these. Now remember, we're looking to get these together. You can see, guys, these guys are going up. We're going over to the right. That is systematically the way that we want to go. And we'll just work through. It'll be a challenge to not accidentally put relics on the Ranger class. Yeah, if you've done it for a long time, Dark Blaine, and if you're new to AFK Arena, the other part, guys, honestly, if you are new to AFK Arena, Blessed Relics go with Duracility. The Ranger spec in here is incredibly easy because the Rangers possess the dodge aspect. That is really one of the biggest ones, guys. Looking at the tank aspect, the last couple AEs, we actually run the tank aspect. And the reason being this level 3 skill right here that negates the effects caused by settlements. So as you get further, again, if this is your first time in the Abyssal Expedition, as you get further in the Abyssal Expedition, there are debuffs that are on the buildings. This negates all of the debuffs that you're going to be faced with. So again, a lot of players will go, which it looks like it kicked me out of the Abyssal Expedition. Happens more than you think, guys, with BlueStacks and the AE. It does happen quite a bit, but that's okay. I've always wondered, why do people go for one class during? So the big thing with one specific class is when you look at all of the relics and you look at the relic bit, the relics, Dark Lucifer, you have to hit high level relics. So you'll get to the point where it'll say have 4, I think it's 4 level 4 relics, 4 level 5 relics. You have to focus on one tree specifically to level up. If not, if you're spreading all of your resources between all of the different trees, you're not going to be able to hit the achievements for the higher titles, which include more of your land that you can take, more heroes that are unlocked, more beasts that are unlocked. You have to level these up. Even to move into next sections of the Abyssal Expedition, you have to level these up in their entirety. You have to. What happens when some of my slots are out of stamina? They will regen. So Amir, they regen 4 stamina per, I believe it's per 2 hours. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. It's either per 2 hours or it's per 4 hours that you get 4 stamina. For instance, this one is at 0 stamina, as you see right here. Stamina recovers in 2 hours. I think it is 2 stamina every 4 hours, or is it 4 stamina every 2 hours? I forget exactly what the math is as many times as I've gone through here. But you do get stamina back on those empty slots. It will give you stamina back. And I actually didn't remember that I put the beast in there, but that's okay. Wish I'd known about the slotting thing. Yeah, if you put all of your heroes in here to slot, again, you want to focus on one specific tree, guys. It is really the way that you're going to make the fastest progression in the Abyssal Expedition, especially because it's going to be very, very hard. Again, if you're splitting all of the resources that you're getting from the relics, you're not going to be able to build them up. And there we go. Thank you, Dark Lucifer. So it is 4 every 2. So you recover 4 stamina every 2 hours. But if you're looking here, guys, remember, it is 12 stamina to attack. So even going through here, now we cannot occupy any more tiles, but you see we made a pretty good path. Now in this point, because we have 20 of 20, this is where we are going to abandon these tiles. Now, this is a change that they did, I believe, 3 or 4 Abyssal Expeditions ago. If I drop one of these tiles, you can see we are all still connected. If I drop one of my tier village or my villages or my towns or my tiers, it is going to go unoccupied again, and we cannot move through there. So again, all of these little abandoned slots in here, we're going to drop while keeping these all continue progression all the way through here. Because remember, we want other players to follow our lead as they're going through here, and we'll just continue our progression going through here. Do we get stamina if there is no heroes in the slot? I do not believe so. I think you have to slot a hero to get stamina. If I remember correctly, I think you need to have them in there. If I used all my stamina already, will I be okay? You'll be fine. Volate, I know I keep saying it wrong. Vitali, no, you'll be fine. You'll be completely fine if you burned all your stamina. Doesn't make that big of a difference, guys. Honestly, going through here, if you play the Abyssal Expedition regularly, if you're going through and just making progression, you'll have no problem going through here. I've even went on brand new accounts and actually went through the entire Abyssal Expedition, got all the way to Prince, even had a little bit of help taking the tier 8s at the end, but we got through it all and we made everybody happy. Everybody got Prince and everything was good. Your stamina will come back. Again, it's really based on Vit. There we go. I remember, I think you told me last live stream, Vit is what we're going for. But like I was saying, if you used all of your stamina, doesn't make a big difference, guys, because you're going to continue making progression in here. It's not like, you know, you're SOL because you used all your stamina in the Abyssal Expedition. You'll get it back. The beast will get it back. The heroes will get it back. Not a really big thing. So the role that I used to play in the Abyssal Expedition is a pather. So again, being on the competitive side of the Abyssal Expedition, I used to go through here and I would clear all of the paths with like 6 or 7 other players to let the whales come in behind and move all the way through the Abyssal Expedition, saving 100% of their stamina. That way they didn't have to use any of it. So they could actually go through there. AE comps for a new player. Now honestly, the first Kagami, the easiest way to go through AoE comps for a new player is whatever you have. That is really the easiest way. So I'll kind of break it down here looking at the relics. So for a new player to the Abyssal Expedition, you are going to pick one of 3 classes again as a new player for the Abyssal Expedition. It is going to be the warrior, the tank, or the ranger. Those are the 3 that I would prioritize as a new player. Now, subdivided with that, what do you have heroes in? So if I have, let's say I have 2 ascended warriors, I have 1 ascended tank, I have 5 ascended rangers, 100% go in and do rangers. There is not going to be an AE comp for a new player. A new player is going to go in with what you have the most of out of those 3 classes. You'll get to a point where you actually get a little Star of Dawn, or you get a little piece up here. I believe it is at Viscount that you can build out or put some support heroes in there, and they will mirror whatever you have leveled. So what I mean by that is, let's say, for instance, we go with the Ranger. I'm building up all these relics in the Ranger. When I get my little Star of Dawn piece, I can put in a support hero and it will mirror if I have a level 3 Ranger. It will give them the level 3 on one hero. That's the way that you can run multiple trees kind of together, is through that little star that they give you a little bit further on during the Abyssal Expedition. Like I said, Marius, I don't think you get stamina if it's empty. Been watching your streams for years now. First time I've caught you live. Your tips and insight helped me greatly. Oh, thank you, Charlie. Thank you for joining us for the stream. And look at that, celebrating the first super chat from Charlie. The first one. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the super chat. That is absolutely amazing, guys. I love all the support for the game. Thank you for joining me for live stream. I love doing the live streams, guys. Most of you know, if you join me every single week, This is something that I look forward to. Again, tomorrow we have volleyball, we have football, we have a lot of stuff going on tomorrow. So this is going to take, and I wanted to do this stream tonight because I knew there were going to be a lot of questions when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition. Definitely. Did you hear about that newer eclipse that happened today? Yeah, I watched some of it. So I watched some of it over on TV, Darkblane, a little bit earlier with the eclipse. There's a lot of craziness going on in the world, guys. And I know from people all over the world, really, that play and watch AFK Arena. It's some weird times out there right now. I've heard a lot of weird things. I've seen a lot of weird things. It's kind of in my opinion, a very unusual time right now. Tier 5s, I'm not going to be able to take. As much as I would love to just work my way through right through that tier 5, guys, I really don't think we're going to be able to get through that one, but that is okay. If you're a new player and feeling overwhelmed, it's okay to just spectate. Yeah, if you can spectate, guys, absolutely. But again, if you want to come in here and play around, it's not super difficult to get through here, especially when you're stacking relics behind all of your heroes. It's not super difficult if you want to come in here and play. And honestly, this is a game mode, guys, have fun with. This, as much as people, are frustrated with this, as much as people kind of, go crazy with the Abyssal Expedition, for me, and in my opinion, it is a very, very fun game mode to go through. There's a lot to it, a lot of depth. Even this one is going to be interesting, again, looking at the debuffs that we're getting in here, the relics that we're getting in here, but also the multiple debuffs, which I believe are right here. These are going to be some of the things that we're getting right here. Airship bowl or airship bow. So we have a bow right up there, guys. And I haven't seen these yet. I waited to see these. There's another one down here. So it looks like airship propeller. We're going to have to put together an airship. I didn't know exactly how it was. I waited because I didn't want to do it on the test server. There's my airship sail. And then I think the final one back here is going to be putting together this airship to take off with all 3 fragments. That's going to take us to the next level. That's pretty cool. It's really so much time and effort goes into this. It's kind of crazy to see. So at this point, like I said, we're working our way over here to the left. You can see we're not too far off with where the rest of the Abyssal Expedition is going to be. So as more players log into the Abyssal Expedition, they're going to come right along this pipeline that I created. I can even drop one of these kind of back here. We can abandon instantly. As you can see, when you abandon it, if it is a land, so if it's a village, if it's a town, if it's whatever, it is no longer green, meaning that players can no longer come through here. Now you see this really evident here. So it's kind of dotted through here where mine is all the solid green line. If you're trying to follow a player through here, you're going to have to retake these villages because the player dropped those villages getting through, which again, for about the first 24 hours, I like to keep everything together, everything mapped together to make it easy. Once you kind of hit the first gate, you can break off and build whatever you want to. Once you know all the players have went to the middle. What's going on? I'm from West Bloomfield, Michigan. Glad to support you. Oh, thank you, Charlie. We have branches over in Bloomfield. My buddy Josh, if he's watching, and sometimes he does, he actually runs our Bloomfield branch. Most of you know I work at a credit union in the financial industry. Yep, we have branches right in your backyard. So very, very cool to see. I was looking to Awaken Blended team earlier this day with Jerome and that team. It would work, Silent. Now, it would work, again, depending what you're running. Because essentially, Silent Gamer, if that is the case, I know a lot of players are running, let's say like a support team in there. And with the support team, they're going to put their Star of Dawn on the Awakened version of Belinda. So they're not actually building out that part. So they're not building out the mage tree, but they're running support to have all the support heroes and then having that Awakened version of Belinda in there. Which again, whatever's going to work in here, we really don't know. Short of what we've seen on the test server, because again, this is the beta version, guys. It is really cool. I'm running my 6th account in the same ones. It's nice pathing together. Yeah, Robbie, that's awesome to path together, especially if you have a bunch of them going in there. Would I be able to pivot off a certain relic if I wanted to do a different one? So, Vit, the big thing is when you get a little bit further. So once you hop into the Abyssal Expedition, you go through and you make a little bit of progression. Once you get a little bit higher, it'll make you build all of the other trees to 3 first. So you'll actually have to take them all to level 3. Then it will make you take them all to level 4. Level 4 is the minimum, I believe, that you have to take them. So if you pivot early, not going to make a big difference. Go ahead and pivot if you want to. You're going to have to build the rest of them eventually. That is what you're going to see. You're going to have to build them. I'm looking for Jerome sub right now. So which hero would be good, or even an alt? That would be great. Without Jerome, guys, if you're building out the Awakened version of Belinda, definitely Palmer in there. You could do Rowan. You could do in there for the ultimate. You could do really anyone that is going to buff Belinda up a little bit. Honestly, looking at Mortis in there, definitely going to be a buffer. The twins in there, probably going to be a really strong buffer. There's a lot of different heroes. Ivan in there. If you're running Ivan, that would work incredibly well. Again, anything that is going to boost the Awakened version of Belinda will work incredibly well in those formations. I'm thinking, let's go ahead and abandon this one. And again, I'm trying to path over kind of just where they are. So when this team actually moves up through this little pathway, they're going to run right into me. And that's what I'm kind of doing here by design, is pathing over to them so they can run right into me. Hey, how's it going? Got my YouTube specifically to look at FHG. Hey guys, what's going on, Shady? I haven't seen you in quite a while. FHG AE guide, and I got something better. Oh, thank you for joining me for the stream. Really, really cool. Like I said, guys, I love doing the streams. It's a ton of fun. It is so much fun to do the streams with you guys. Being able to talk to other players about AFK Arena that I absolutely love playing, it's a lot of fun. It is very cool. So we're going to keep moving up here. I'm going to take another tier 3, hopefully pretty easily. I have 2 questions. When did you start your main account for AFK, and how did you get into AFK? So Lindsay, funny you should ask. So originally AFK Arena, I started my main account 4 years ago. So a little north of 4 years ago. This YouTube account is not my first account. Most of you know my oldest account is my FHG account. It is not this account. This account was actually probably started about 1.5 years after. And this was the pay to win account. If you remember, guys, most of pretty much all of the donations we get from donations from Charlie, memberships with Lindsay, I put most everything back into AFK Arena. We have a budget for this game that we put in. This has been the pay to win account for about, I think we're already north of 4 or probably 3 years, almost 4 years at this point. But the FHG account is my oldest account. This one is not. And that one, guys, we lost that battle. So we're not going to be able to use either of the heroes. Again, I'm not paying much attention to this. I'm more sitting here and chatting with you guys. So again, we used all of the stamina through here. These heroes were going to be stuck, guys, because we cannot go through here unless we pop some other heroes in here. So if we did like an Alna in here, and then again, a lot of players do run like a Rem in here, which is really strong. That is a really strong combination. Again, I'm going to have to figure out exactly what I'm going to run on my other accounts. We'll go through there. How did I get into AFK Arena? So there was a YouTuber. I don't even know if he's still around anymore. His name was FG3000. Big shout out to him if he still is around on YouTube. FG3000 had a video about this new game, which was, of course, AFK Arena. I started playing AFK Arena from his recommendation, and that was it, guys. I have been playing AFK Arena since the day I watched his video about 4+ years ago, downloaded the game, and that was it. So YouTube, I haven't been doing that long. That's the other kind of thing. Haven't been doing YouTube as long as I've been playing AFK Arena. But when I go into games, guys, I do a lot. Again, we were in competitive AE guilds through a lot of content. And players were saying, you need to start a YouTube channel to do information on AFK Arena. And that is when I started it, guys. A lot of people in the guild, a lot of people over on Discord, even before I had my own Discord, said you should absolutely make a YouTube channel so you can cover the AFK Arena content. And that was it, guys. From there, we went through, and I've been doing AFK Arena content for years at this point. And again, I love playing the game. As much as it's changed, as much as people hated the engraving, hated, a couple different aspects of the game, it comes and it goes. Most of you know I'm an old school player from World of Warcraft. Before that, it was Dark Age of Camelot. Before that, it was, and look, guys, Rem's getting crushed in here too. Before that, it was Ultima Online. So there was a ton of games that I've always been playing. I don't have Awakened Thane. Is there an alternate champ to do the initial clear? Most of them you can use. Again, a lot of players are using Rem. So the Rem Ulna together does work well. Rem with Brutus works well. There's actually some older season guides that run a couple different formations. I didn't even realize that was a tier 4 right there. So we have 20 of 20. I feel like I'm set pretty good in here. And you can see, guys, even some of these dots down here, some of the later players to the Abyssal Expedition are logging in. I think I seen one right here that just logged in from, and these are all my guildies. Wiki Bobo is all of these guildies that are in here. I think probably 95% of the Abyssal Expedition here is my guild Adventure Walk as we continue through here. So Blessed Relic wise, this one, I am going to go tank. This is going to be the one, guys. So literally, I'm going to go through and I'm going to combine some of my relics. Going in here, I'm going to build out tank first. I'm going to take tank as high as I can based on the build when we start going in here. But even looking here, Blessed Essence, we're getting about 1,700 an hour. After another hour, these quiet time will end, and this will start boosting up what we have within our build. So again, I'm in a pretty good spot. I could drop some of these ones to pick up some of the 3s or some of the 4s kind of along the way. But again, I don't want to leave too many players behind just based on the build that we have right here. Interesting. I work for a major merchant processing service. Very, very cool, Charlie. I think Ivan, yes, Ivan and Awakened Belinda is really, really strong, Shady, for sure. Glad I made it to the live. I'm following your new account process and new to the game, wondering why after Graveborn are the Wilders. So the big thing, Terrence, is when you look at the Graveborn and you look at the Wilders, they are the two biggest factions that have synergy. That is the biggest thing, is once you go through the Graveborns. So Damon and Ivan early game are the ultimate carry. When you look at heroes that do incredibly well within AFK Arena, both of those go together like peanut butter and jelly. They are absolutely perfect together. Based on the build, based on the heroes, they work super, super well together. Now, with that being said, when you look at the Wilder faction, they're probably the closest second. So when you look in here, even having every hero built within AFK Arena, when you look at Grez, when you look at Oden, when you look at Silas, when you look at Damon, when you look at Baden, Ivan, even looking at, Desira, looking at the Greyborn faction from a big picture, Terrence, they are by far the strongest faction. But the same can be said when you start getting into the Wilders, looking at, of course, the Awakened heroes, but when you look at Raku, Iran, when you look at Nevi, when you look at Mishka, Tamaris, most of the Wilders, even Trishia down here, work incredibly well, and they have a ton of synergy together. We don't see as much within, especially the Lightbearers, guys. When you look at this faction, and again, taking out the Awakened heroes, you have Scarlet in here, you have Palmer, which is a buffer, Roan, which is a buffer, Rain, that is a buffer, Rosaline, who is a buffer. They don't have a ton of synergy in the faction, and it is true with the Maulers as well. These Maulers are usually the faction that always does the worst. And unfortunately, for 4 years, this has been the faction that has usually always done the worst within AFK Arena. But that is the reason why focusing the Graveborn, getting them to that ascended level, and then going back and actually building out a couple of the other factions. That's really the reason. What class should I focus on? Loya? Whatever one you have, that's the big thing, guys. Like I said, go through the warrior, the tank, the ranger. Whatever heroes that you have the best should be the focus. Absolutely. I was thinking Belinda, Palmer, Rosalind. Yes, that'll work incredibly well. Got the twins to ascended on all my accounts. Should I do 3 or 9 furniture? I would do the furniture, Michael, but I wouldn't do the engraving. The twins don't need the engraving. It's not really a big thing. I see you're using Brutus and Thane. I don't have Thane. Do you think you could use Awakened Athalia? Yes, Shady. Absolutely, guys. If you have a built Awakened Athalia, that will work in there incredibly well. Now, again, I have a couple heroes in here. We burn through a lot of the stamina. Usually, again, Majority of the time, we wouldn't use this much stamina off of the bat. I would be a little bit more diligent with the places that I'm taking, the places that I'm holding, meaning that I would take tier 3s, tier 4s. That is where we would kind of stack building all of these up. These tier 1s we can actually drop that are in here. And I'm hoping again that we can kind of keep everyone connected through here. But the tier 1s, tier 2s, I would drop out at this point, burn through the rest of the stamina to get everything ready. And then once we go through there and get to the point of having all of the stamina exhausted, I drop all the heroes out of there and put in the teams that I'm using. Again, just kind of based on the builds and the heroes that we're going to be using in there, which I'll show you guys in just a minute. I think FG3000 is the first YouTuber I watched for AFK Arena. Yeah, and that's it. FG3000, like I said earlier, he played very, very early AFK Arena, popped up in my YouTube feed, and that is where it started, guys. It was FG3000. Yeah, Awaken Athalia is a beast. When I finish Ascended, just keep pulling for the next top Ascended. So about to finish Awaken Leica. Want to go after Awaken Athalia, but should I wait? So what I would do, Lindsay, is if you're building out the Awaken version of Leica, I would pause for the Awakened version of Athalia. I would build up a little bit of resources, just see what comes next. Because if they release the Awakened version of Chimera and Chimera is absolutely broken, you can go that route. If they release another hero and the hero isn't super effective, you can always go back utilizing those resources, building that Awakened version of Athalia, especially because we're relatively close to the next Awakened hero and you haven't finished Leica. I would, again, my recommendation would be finish up the current hero that you're working on, wait to see what is coming next, and then go from there. It would really be beneficial. Again, just based on, we don't know exactly what is coming next. But like I was saying, guys, so Thane is out. So boom, we will drop that out. Now this is the point. Now this first team right here would essentially be either my core team that I'm going to use as my boss killing team, or it is going to be the team that I'm going to utilize on this top to really be my strong core movement team. Since I am going to go tank, this is the way, guys, that you want to go tank. And looking again at my tanking lineup, which tanks do I want to go? Some of the strong ones in here, definitely Mishka, Vathio, Kanisa, and Rook. Naruko, definitely very, very strong within this game mode. Damon is really good. Albedo is really good. But there's also an underlying, what am I going to use for the boss fights? Which again, is one of the other things to kind of remember. So again, in here, let's put Vathiel in here. And I'm just kind of basing it on the heroes that I have. Because remember, this is going to make a big difference based on, again, the heroes that we have and where exactly we're going to place them. So again, I'm going to put in 5 tanks in here. Let's put Mishka in here. And of course, even though you might see a tank and think, hey, these tanks are not super effective, that doesn't really make such a big difference for the fact that you're putting relics behind them. So when you're in here and you're stacking these blessed relics behind these heroes, guys, you are going to amplify the damage. Even right here, attack 57k, plus some crit, insight, and some crit damage reduction. This is going to far, far outwork anything else that you are going to build in AFK Arena. When you stack relics behind these tanks, it's going to be huge when you're making progression with these. And again, you want to build one at a time, guys. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go tank. The rest of this second one, I am actually going to put in my kill squad for bosses, starting to build up all of their stamina just on that kill squad. What's going on, Jack? First time here. Thank you for joining the stream. I love doing the streams, guys. Awaken Taylene is really good in the game mode. Yes. And that's the big thing, Shady. So again, putting relics behind like the Awakened version of Taylene, not only that is within the game mode, Shady, is we're putting in an SP effect in the tanks. So not only do I have 5 very strong tanks right here, is the Awakened version of Taylene, not only the revive aspect, but also brings the SP effect to this entire tanking team, which makes it work incredibly well. Tanks might not be the best synergy through here, might not be the one that we're looking for. But again, like I was saying earlier, this is the beta version. So we want to see exactly what is going to be utilized in here, what is going to be really built, what kill teams essentially are we using? What is going to be the best classification to come through here with the heroes and get everything set when you come in here, just like I did, guys. Take tier 1s, tier 2s, tier 3s. That is where you want to build out, because once this quiet time ends, then you start getting your essence. We're almost at 2,000 essence an hour, which is good. I'm going to go get some sleep tonight. I'm going to come back. I'm going to have a couple thousand essence in here. I will be able to finish out some of my tanking tree right here. We'll be able to finish this out with one more relic. We'll probably get one, maybe, possibly even 2 more levels out of here. So we're getting all of the resources out of here, which is the reason why we do honorable, guys. You want to go in here. If you haven't started the Abyssal Expedition, the honorable way in here does work incredibly well. You get all of these scrolls. Leaderboard, guys, of course, the leaderboards are not going to be an effect. Resources, of course, you can see them for a little bit. But again, the leaderboards are not going to be effect for this Abyssal Expedition because this is the beta version overall. Let me hop over, guys. Let me do my my membership giveaway. I love doing the giveaway. I just thought about it right now. I want to make sure that I don't miss an opportunity to do the give back. And I might hop over. I want to do a couple more summons. Also want to do a couple summons just based on furniture. I still need furniture, guys, like absolute crazy. My furniture and my furniture summons never end because you require so much furniture for so many different players, guys. So let's hop over. We'll do, there's our gifting membership. So that'll be up in just a minute. Even looking in here, we got all of our chests out of here. We'll get a card out of there. We'll get some red chest. We'll get some of our engraving mats. And then of course, right here, I was saving a lot of the engraving mats and I was waiting for Robin Hood. To be honest, guys, Robin Hood is a pretty big disappointment overall that we're not seeing a lot of effectiveness within Robin Hood. Don't really recommend buying them at this point. And what's going on? Spooky Man gets the gifting membership for today. So congratulations on the gift membership. Again, we like doing it every single time, guys. I'm saving up some resources, 167 time emblems right here. We do have a couple more cards. I'm saving everything we have right now, just for the simple fact that we know there are other things that are coming here. 2 days, Matrix, I think 2 days is what we're doing. So there's a friend slot. There we go, guys. 2 days is when we remove them. So the friend slot is in there, but let's knock out some of these summons. I need some more recycling, need to gain some more levels in here, and also building out that elder tree. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we can get it. You're the only one in my garrison that owns Robin Hood. Beacon of Hope, again, pretty sad. I honestly am pretty sad with Robin Hood. Talk about a pretty disappointing hero overall. It's kind of crazy to think and see, but definitely disappointed with the build. I can't believe Robin Hood that they did as bad. And there we go, guys. There are 2 copies. That'll add another star in there. I want to build out Liberta again, just based on the min-maxing and where we are. Liberta, there's a little bit more. What's going on? Lopsided Fluff. Lopsided Fluff is in the house, guys. Is Entendre any good? Short of the tower and pretty niche Iron Boy, not used many places. Not used a ton of different places, unfortunately. But again, the hero's not going to see a ton of utility at this point. At this point, I don't know if I would build Entendre, just for the simple fact that the hero's not used in a lot of places, guys. So that takes our Liberta up to 3 stars. And I believe we have maybe an extra copy. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just got those doubles, guys. That added 1 more star in there, which was awesome to see that we have another star. Again, that's a hero that we're still continuing to build up. Even looking here at the events, we have pretty much everything done. New Beast is done. Treasure Scramble, we are at 67. Again, that is one of the big reasons why I am pushing the Treasure Scramble, is being able to build and actually build up a lot more heroes through there. Store, we're still buying out all of our resources in here. Dream Store, I bought out my cards. So you can see we actually bought out the ones that we just used right here. Actually, we built out right there. A couple more days, 4 more days, and we'll be able to get some more time emblems out of here. But the barracks, again, we're waiting for the reset on this one. And then the Labyrinth Store, I am saving. I keep buying a ton out of here. as you make further progression in AFK Arena. You can see we buy a ton out of there. And then, of course, we have 2 heroes left to buy. A couple more copies in there, and they will be done in the Challenger store as well, which is kind of crazy. I had a question. If you don't have Awakened Taylene, should you go Warrior or something else? Depends, Jack. Like I said, go in there with your strongest heroes, period. So depending if it is the Warriors, if it is the tank, or if it is the Ranger, whatever you have the biggest heroes, whatever you have the most built, absolutely 100 store, go on there. Does the Dream Store change or just reset? It just resets, Robbie. It just resets. So we have 18,000 right here, guys. Again, wish list. Now we have, look at the heroes. Short of all of these heroes, which again is kind of crazy, we are stacking up a ton of furniture. Again, I'm going to save, I think I'm going to save the red cards in here because again, we know there's going to be another hero that is coming. There's a copy for Jerome. And I know a couple of these heroes don't need the cards. So if I can get a couple cards that way, if we do get the awakened version of Shamira, there's Jerome again. We can have the red cards sitting on the table. And that would be awesome that we could have that 9 of 9 furniture just sitting on the table. So again, red cards we're just going to save. And I'm going to focus on building out a lot more. But that gives us 3 of 9 for Jerome. Just like that, guys, the furniture gets built that fast. That's good. From 1 to 2 to 3, just like that. Rest of those, we're still strengthening the furniture. And yes, we got a little bit on Ivan. Robin Hood is sitting here as well, guys. We're just going to have to see and save up these tokens. Again, I'm going to save the cards in there to see exactly what we can build. Now, in addition, the Beast Ground, I think we have, 270? But we got the Flutter Plume built up. Look at it right there, guys. Level 18. And then, of course, the Slumbering Seal. Going down the list, I have the Rock Lizard, which I think I'm going to swap out the Rock Lizard. I think I'm going to go in here with Fox Fatale, or I'm going to go with Spider. I know Trisha was talking about it a little bit earlier about the Spider. Any thoughts on Rem and Amelia coming to the Garrison? Should be within another week or two, Lopsided. That is what a lot of players are saying, because usually it's about 6 months, but definitely it should be very, very soon that we're going to see both of the heroes that are coming there. And there we go, guys. There's a copy of the Spider. We want to get the Spider to 18. We want to get all of them to 18. That is the goal. The baits remain a very, very big investment in AFK Arena, as much as I like everything else, guys. Even here, Wing Lion, we need I think 4 more, and that'll take him to 18. Even here, we don't have any there. And then we got 1 of the Spider. Then I think that was about it. Talisman already has 2. We're getting close. We have everyone at 15, already at 15 plus, which is awesome, guys. That is so much progression. And then again, like I was saying earlier, there's Shady. Shady, you are in. Congratulations. There you are. But like I was saying earlier, we're almost to level 800. 796 right now, guys. That is right. We're at 324 billion combat power, which just continues to increase every time that we're doing the summons. So it is kind of crazy. I want to say hello before I go to school, because we actually have school on Sunday in Saudi. Oh, well, hi and bye. Have fun at school. Hope you learned something brand new. My kids always say that they never learn anything, but it is still kind of crazy. I'm still really confused at how to do the Beast Resonance to get the Spider back. So for the Beast Resonance, you have to put them in the wish list, Lindsay, right up here. So if you put the Spider in the wish list, if you have one of these secret spices, you can actually summon them once you have the Beast Resonance, which is right here. So once you get to a point of the Beast Resonance, you can actually drop them in here, which for level 6s will put all of your pets to level 6. And then it goes on to 9, 12, 15, and 18. You just have to keep summoning. They take a lot of baits to go in here and do these summons, guys. It takes an incredible amount of time, probably one of the biggest time sinks within AFK Arena, to continue building them out. It takes a lot. Hopefully they add more to the Dream Store. Yes, I really hope so, Robbie. I feel like they could update it some, and there's a lot of different places, especially when it comes to, of course, my favorite, the guild bosses. There's a lot of different places in AFK Arena that they really need to do some updating, guys. These bosses have remained the exact same forever. Ever since I started playing AFK Arena, both of these bosses have not really ever changed. We don't even have legendary or mythic gear in here, which is kind of silly as well. but going in here and just farming them every day at this point is super redundant because we've been doing it for so many years at this point. It's kind of crazy. A couple more cards right here. Then we have one more level, it looks like, within our Elder Tree, which takes it to 148. That is right, guys. 187, 187, 187, 149, 149. We're maxing out all of these trees, which is the reason why I continue going through and recycling heroes to actually max these out. They'll be to 187 eventually, or these will probably be much higher as we continue progression in there, guys. So much going on in AFK Arena. I know the Misty Valley I have to still clean out in this account, which is going to yield me a ton of loot, a ton of baits. And then, of course, guys, we are just stacking elemental shards and the cores. I'm going to have to go through and really see who I'm going to build out a little bit further just based on the heroes I have, or just saving some of the resources to build out some of the other heroes that we do have. Played at these parts. Where is your dad soda? My dad soda, Rob, is not here. It is 11 o'clock right now, guys, so it is pretty late in these parts. Absolutely. But again, I wanted to hop in here. I wanted to go through, answer some questions about the Abyssal Expedition, especially because I know a lot of players will watch it kind of on the playback. But you can see as we're getting more players into here, I'm actually going to clear out all three of these. I know we're going to lose stamina, but actually I could probably... I think I might just go through and farm out the rest of the stamina that I have and get probably another one of these places. So staying at 19, I can actually farm probably all the way across here. Again, just so we can go through. I don't want to waste the stamina, but we already have them slotted. So I'm going to have to use the stamina in here. 500 cores from having Awakened Belinda done, and then I'm saving resource for the next Awaken. Miko, that is the way to do it. And honestly, guys, there are a lot of heroes that 100% need the furniture, need the furniture built, or excuse me, the engraving built in its entirety. There's some heroes that really don't require it whatsoever. You have to make sure that you're going through and building out essentially the heroes that need to be built. Make sure you prioritize, especially because the wish list changes so often, and the meta, I mean, the meta heroes in here change so much and so many times, guys. But again, I'm just farming just straight over, burning through my stamina. That way I can set up, and I'm going to have to see exactly. I think Zero had another new guide, guys. And if you haven't checked out Zero's guide, absolutely, guys, check out Zero's guide. He does so much content for AFK Arena. It is kind of crazy to see. Same with Vulcan. I mean, there's a lot of information out there in AFK Arena. But he has a new AoE guide. I believe it is over on Discord right now, or it might be up on usually over on Reddit as well, which again, I covered his a lot of his guides. I've talked to him a couple times, and very, very cool individual. And again, the time and effort that it takes to put and build guides into AFK Arena, it's kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. Again, how much time and effort it takes to do everything within AFK Arena. What did I use to get the tier 3? We were using Brutus and Thane. Brutus and Thane were the tier 3s and the tier 4s. All right, guys, so I think we're pretty well set. We have, what, one more battle in there. So I'm actually going to take this tier 3 with what we have going on here. Then I'm going to drop them out. I'm going to see exactly. I'm keeping Belinda in the wish list for additional furniture. Yes, Miko, and that's why I did the same. I kept Belinda in there, but in addition to the awakened version of Belinda, I also kept, if you've seen, I kept Liberta in there because of the Cursed Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, the Twisted Realm, the Treasure Scramble. Pretty much every game mode, Liberta is being used in a ton of different places. Now here we have, what, one more battle that we can do with these two, so I'm not going to have any more stamina. That's okay, so I'm going to drop these out. That gives me this second list. This is going to be my kill team. Now, what I mean by that is looking at the second one, this is going to be my boss kill team. So again, what that means is I am going to slot 5 heroes into this second slot. These 5 heroes are only going to be used for the last boss of the Abyssal Expedition, which means it's probably going to be a couple days, possibly even, a week before we do get to that mode of being at the final boss. But getting to that final boss, I am going to have 5 heroes that are stacked right in this slot. that are going to be 100% stacked with stamina when we get to the boss, which is the reason why I'm putting these together. Makes a big difference, guys. And again, depending where you are, if you're newer to the Abyssal Expedition, things of that nature, you might not slot in. These are going to be heroes that you're going to have to use to take your tier 2s, tier 3s, tier 4s. Me personally, this is the slot that I use. So my tanking team is going to be the team to actually take, you know, tier 4s, tier 5s, things like that when I stack relics behind them. This team is going to be my kill squad for the last boss, and for the last boss only is going to be that kill squad. And then I will be set for the Abyssal Expedition. Like I said, we're going to wait for Quiet Time to end. I'm going to start getting my 2,000 an hour, start building out a lot more of the blessed relics that we have right here, level up, continue our progression. This is day 1 of the Abyssal Expedition, guys. Hop in here. Hopefully you win honorable. It does make it a lot easier because you have a lot of players that are going in there. But all right, guys, so that'll do it for our late night Saturday stream. Guys, big shout out to Lindsay for joining us as a member, as well as the donation over there from Charlie and the new subscribers as well as the gifted memberships, guys. It's awesome to see all of the players that come over and join us on these live streams. Again, it's something that I absolutely love to do. We're in chapter 52 right now. Gonna definitely have to make some more progression on the next one going through here, but we're waiting to see what the Awakened Graveborn is going to be, guys. Again, a lot of players are really going in saying it is going to be Shamira without a doubt. A lot of the lore is telling us that it is going to be Theowen, but that is yet to be seen exactly what we're going to do. Will there be a stream tomorrow? Vit, no, there will not. I actually have some plans tomorrow. I'm not going to be available, so I do have some videos that are queued up. There will not be a live stream tomorrow, guys, so if you hop on, this is the live stream that I'm covering for tomorrow. I will not be here. I will not be available tomorrow to go on and hop out. So again, guys, thank you guys for joining me for the stream. Have a good night. I'm going to go get some sleep, see exactly where we come back with the Abyssal Expedition tomorrow. What do you put your tank relic on a support? Yes, that's what I do, Shady. So I put all the tank relics. I build up all the tank relics. My support, I put support with the Star of Dawn. So when we get that little Star of Dawn, that is where I put it on a support hero. So usually I put 1 within there or even 2 within there. But again, as we build out the 3, the 4, because once I get the tank tree built, Shady, looking a little bit down the line, then I focus on support. So I build tank and support, and that's the way, guys, you really want to build it. It's going to be warrior support, mage support, ranger support. The support is always going to be the second aspect when you go through there to build out these heroes. So again, guys, that'll do it for tonight's stream. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, what else you guys want to see. That's why I put the survey up on the channel. We got a lot more content that's coming. And as always, thank you guys for watching.